Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwood alongside Richard Mulrooney. And Coach, coming off disappointing loss. It was close, tight match, 2-1 to UCF.
Yeah, just a big match. Obviously, always the next match is the big match, but that was a big one for the fact that arguably they're the best team in the conference. I think they're really well coached from top to bottom. They've got a solid lineup. But, like I've said before, I like my team a lot, and I knew that if we came in with the right attitude, mentally and physically, we'd make it a complete game. Unfortunately, we didn't really show up for the first half, to give up a goal 2 or 3 minutes into it. A bit unfortunate, but in watching it back, we made some mistakes, and they punished us for it. Their top goal scorer, I think that was his 19th of the year. You can't give him that much space, and whether it's a deflection or a free shot, we knew better than that, and to give them that lead 2 minutes in, a bit tough, and I was hoping maybe that would wake us up, and they get a goal 6 minutes later, and that was a defensive breakdown. And while we had some opportunities, to be honest with you, they were all over. So credit to them to come into our place and put their foot on the gas a little bit. But, at halftime, I told the guys, I didn't go in Bobby night, throwing chairs or anything like that. I just went in and said, guys, it's senior night. There's people watching this. But at the end of the day, we've got pride, and we know how last year turned out against Tulsa. It was a bad result on our senior day then, but at the same time, we had 45 minutes, and I challenged the guys, told them that if they showed up, and it wasn't really about tactically doing this or that, it was more or less, you just have to work harder, it's as simple as that, and the guys took it to heart and really went out and left it on the field, and obviously dug ourselves too big of a hole with the 2 goals, but we were knocking on the door, had some balls cleared off the line, arguably maybe a handball in there that wasn't called, but having said that, you create your own luck, and unfortunately got 1 goal but couldn't get the second. But we walked off the field knowing that in the second half we left it on the field and probably biting at the bit to maybe have that first half back, and maybe we'll have another chance at them, but learning the lesson that it's a 90-minute game, and whether you can only go maybe 80, 85 and you have a couple minutes off, and that can sometimes cost you, but you can't do 45 against UCF and expect to get a result. But I think the guys did a good job of returning to the second half and just competing and playing the way we were supposed to.
Saturday, kind of one of those good news, bad news types of days. So you lose the game to UCF, but things fall out around the league as you look around the schedule and you find out that the tournament has been clinched by, the 6 teams. Now it's going to be up to seeding. So you guys know with 1 match left, you're going to be participating in that conference tournament this year.
Absolutely. Like I said, at the end of the game with talking about the UCF, there's no moral victories. I was proud of them, but we still lost, and that was a game that if we win, we can maybe still host this tournament. But, the good news was that, yes, we clinched a spot, and I told the guys, this wasn't given to you. This was earned, from previous games, from the way you've played. But at the same time, we still have 1 conference game left, and we're playing for pride, and we're trying to move up the rankings as high as possible. And whether that means we stay at 5th, whatever it is, we still have to go into the conference with some confidence. But at the same time, we got to make sure we manage ourselves, knowing that we do have a game that following Tuesday versus question mark to be seen. So it was a good feeling, but like you said, it was sort of bittersweet that I would have loved to win and gotten in, but at the same time, we've done enough work up to that point to be rewarded for that, and I told the guys, nobody can take that away from you. It's the first time in 4 or 5 years, and now it's a matter of seeing the season out, making sure we go on a roll with our last game versus USF this Friday, and then whoever it may be the following Tuesday we'll be ready for.
And that's got to be nice for you to see in your tenure here. It's never probably as quick as you ever want it to be, but it's been a progression over your time here, continuing to build up each season.
For sure. I think for the last few years, we've always been into it the last weekend of the season, but we've taken a loss or didn't get the result or somebody's won behind us and hopped us, and we've missed out on that top 4. So obviously this year with the 6 seeds, it's helped a little bit, but at the same time, this is the type of team where, I knew we were good enough to finish in the top 2 or 3 to get a result this weekend, knowing we're in the top 6 already. It's well-deserved, but at the same time, I think it's the progression of where we're going. I think we've barely missed out the last couple of years, and finally to be rewarded this year. I'm happy for our seniors, but I'm happy for our program, knowing that we're going in the right direction.
Top priority always when you go on the road to USF this weekend is to win the match, but probably 1A is a win, lose, or get a draw out of it. You need to play well because you want to have momentum going into the tournament.
Yeah, that's our first goal. Obviously, any guys that are health risk, can maybe not go. Probably get some minutes, but I wouldn't force them, knowing that this isn't a win or go home type of game.
Right.
So you have to focus on that. You have some guys that are on cautions, yellow cards, that if they get another one, they miss the next game. So you take that all into account, but at the end of the day, it's an opportunity for our team to go at a tough place that we haven't gotten a result at USF, knowing that they're in the tournament and they're fighting for a spot as well, that we can't just walk in, but at the same time, it's a game that we've got to manage properly. And if we do that, I still feel like we can get a result, but we just have to make sure we get out of it injury-free, nobody's suspended, and ready to play for our Tuesday game.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Anytime.
That is head coach Richard Mulrooney. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.